On today's show, we break down the words of wisdom taught by Jim Collins, the best-selling author of Good to Great and Built to Last. We break down the words of wisdom found in his newest book, titled Turning the Flywheel, a monograph to accompany Good to Great. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is filled with momentum-creating knowledge bombs.
Some shows don't need a celebrity narrator to introduce the show, but this show does. 2 men, 8 kids, co-created by 2 different women, 13 multi-million-dollar businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thrive Time Show.
3, 2, 1, here we go!
Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, and we'll show you how to get here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we here. Started from the bottom, now we'll show you how to
Yes, 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 and yes. Thrive Nation, welcome back to another exciting edition of the Thrive Time Show on your radio and podcast download. And on today's show, Jason, we have many, many reasons to celebrate before we get into today's show called Turning the Flywheel, a monograph to accompany Good to Great. We have many reasons to celebrate.
Oh, yes.
I want you to think, not too long, but think about a client you're working with right now who's having some massive success, having some wins, something great is happening for them. Go ahead and encourage the Thrive Nation out there. Share with us a win of the week, my friend.
Yeah, so a win of the week is Marty Grisham.
Marty Grisham.
Advanced Commercial Systems.
Advanced Commercial Systems.
Mm-hmm.
It's a roofing company, right?
It is.
Based
Commercial
here
roofing.
in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
So founded in Broken Arrow.
Founded in Broken
but
Arrow.
Also servicing Tulsa.
Also
basically
servicing
all
Tulsa.
of Oklahoma.
Okay, and that's Marty Grisham.
Yes, sir.
All right, back to you.
So Marty is right now at the top of Google, and it's just changing his life. He has the most reviews of any roofer in the Broken Arrow area.
Nice, Marty.
And he's also popping up organically on page 1 because he is a content writing machine. The guy has articles upon articles. Like, he's just killing it. And the best part about it, though, is he just loves doing it. Like, he just listens to everything that you say. He listens to the podcast. His mission every day is awesome. He can't go to sleep until he's recorded 3 podcasts.
It's unbelievable what consistency and diligence can do. Once you find what works and you stick with it, it is unbelievable the kind of success that you can have. Now, I can't one up Marty, but I have 3 wins.
No, yeah.
I'm just sitting on 3 wins right now that are fairly epic, and I feel like who am I to share an epic win without? I mean, because my wins aren't maybe as profound as Marty's. So I'm going to cue up some music to compensate that my wins aren't as big as Marty's. Marty's growing his business dramatically. He's having success. Here I am celebrating 3 wins that aren't maybe as big as his wins, but I'm going to give it a try here. So let me cue up my. Here we go. My 3 wins of the week. My voice. I'll get more into character as I do it here. My 3 wins of the week. Win number 1. My pool now flows. Woo! Oh, the small waterfall is on. The water slide is flowing.
Yes.
The grotto is flowing. We have power in the man cave. Win of the week for me is that the man cave is coming together and the pool is flowing. The hot tub is flowing. That's a big win. Now, another win I have this week. Sam Smith, the R&B singer, former lounge singer, Sam Smith, the R&B singer. He now, oh yes, Sam Smith now dances in videos. His new video, How Do You Sleep? Sam Smith is dancing. Some said he would never do it, but Sam Smith is dancing.
He's doing it.
He's doing it. And my 3rd and final win of the week is Jim Collins is an author, best-selling author of Good to Great and Built to Last. And he has rejected me more times than most when it comes to being on this show. I don't know directly, but I can say this. I've invited, and he's told me no. I've read his books. Many books. Great books. I've applied his books. I've invited him to be on this show many times. And I get a lot of rejection. But he has now sent me an actual book. Jason, you have the letter in your hand to prove it.
I have the letter in my hand.
And it's a signed book. And Jimmy Collins, JC we call him.
The old JC.
JC, yeah. People not to be confused with Jesus Christ. Some people call Jesus Christ JC. He's a good author. I mean, not that great of an author, but I'll tell you what, he's a great author. He wrote a book years ago called Built to Last and Good to Great. And as I was growing my company, DJ Connection, I found myself kind of stuck at a certain point, and I didn't have a coaching program to help me get unstuck. I hadn't built it yet. What I did have is access to books. And so I went out there and got that book, Built to Last, and then I got Good to Great. Now, let me tell you what, when I got Good to Great, I didn't know what the heck that book was about. I couldn't figure it out. And now, I read it, but I don't know, Jason, do you ever read a book and have no idea what the book's about? I mean, you're reading, it's like, man, this book is tough to understand, or the book is written really well, but I just knew so little about the vast majority of business that I had to listen to the audiobook.
Oh, absolutely. It's like the content's there, but my understanding hasn't really matched that yet.
Yeah, so I read that book once. I remember reading that book once. I know I listened to the audiobook at least twice.
Yeah.
While on road trips to Dallas. And when I was building DJConnection.com, we had a location in Dallas and one in Tulsa. And so most weekends I would drive to Tulsa and Dallas. I know I listened to the book completely at least twice. I know I read the book at least twice. Took a lot of notes, and I thought, man, I'm gonna apply these principles and grow DJ Connection. And I did. I applied the principles, and it went very well for me. And I can just say that I owe Jim Collins a debt of gratitude. And one of the notable quotables I remember from reading when I read Good to Great was this. It says, a company should limit its growth based on its ability to attract enough of the right people. Jason, what does that mean to you? You think a company should limit its growth based on its ability to attract enough of the right people? What does that mean to you?
So if we're talking customer base, it's like the idea of your ideal and likely buyers. So to me, my definition of that would be, don't try to grow past your lid. You want to make sure that your product or your business, whatever you're offering the people, is going to attract the right people. Otherwise, you're going to be spending a lot of money and a lot of time just kind of spinning your wheels.
So as an example, Elephant in the Room, we have about 4,000 members-ish. We have great members. The kind of guys who like Elephant in the Room, our men's grooming lounge chain, are people that value setting an appointment for their haircuts. So they don't have to wait. They value showing up on time so they don't make other people wait.
True.
They value a haircut experience, not just a quick 10-minute cut.
Right.
They value a premium cut. They value the paraffin hand dip, the hot towel treatment. They like the experience. And we have about 4,000 guys that are members.
Oh, yeah.
But then we also have a great team of stylists, grooming professionals, and all of them have to be happy people. I'm not interested in hiring somebody and coaching them how to be happy.
Right.
I want to hire happy people. And, Jason, it turns out there is not a lot of happy people out there at times. We found the great ones. We have found some great ones. But last week, as an example, we had one young lady. She came to interview, and she showed up for the group interview. And then she showed up a little bit early. I said, "Hello, what's your name?" And she said, "My name is such and such." And I said, but she said it with a kind of a look. She gave me the look. So she's like, "My name's such and such." We'll say her name wasn't Amanda, but we'll just say Amanda. It's like, "My name's Amanda." I'm like, "Okay, well, Amanda, what are you here for?" "The interview." "Okay." And I'm like, "So, where do you work at now?" And she's like, "Sports Cuts," or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I go, "Okay." And then she said, "Who are you?" And I go, "I'm Clay. I'm the founder or co-founder of Elephant in the Room." She's like, "Oh, hi. It's so nice to meet you." But she had that attitude.
Right, just from the jump.
Because she thought I wasn't important. Mm-hmm. And then when she discovered that I was important to her, she was nice.
Right.
And I knew right away, okay, that kind of person would not be a good fit. So we can't grow Elephant in the Room anymore. We shouldn't try to grow Elephant in the Room unless we can grow with happy people. And we shouldn't try to grow the business unless we can find happy employees and happy customers. But the moment we start booking the wrong kind of customer...
Oh, it gets weird.
It gets weird. When you book a guy that can't understand... That's why the first haircut's $1. But if you're somebody out there that... can't grasp the concept of showing up on time for your haircut, let me tell you what kind of sales pitch we do. We usually don't even try to sell you a membership. We just like, hey, hopefully you had a great experience. See you later. Hopefully not. Because if you're somebody who shows up 45 minutes late to a 30-minute appointment, if we book you and turn you into a member and the expectations can't be met from the customer perspective or from the service perspective, it's going to get weird. Because Jim Collins says a company should limit its growth based on its ability to attract enough of the right people. Now, that's just one knowledge bomb that Jimmy Collins has given us here.
He's got a lot.
He's got a lot of bombs. He's got a lot of knowledge bombs, and I want to have him on the show. I want to get him on the show.
Come on, Jimmy.
I've reached out to Jimmy, and Jimmy just he doesn't say yes. Now no, he hasn't said no to me personally. Now his assistant, his team has said no to me, and so what I want to do right now, Thrive Nation, is I want you to take just a moment, and I want you to help me get Jimmy Collins on the show.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna do for a second. We're gonna get kind of weird here. I'm gonna cue this up. Let me cue this up. Let me give kind of. This is gonna remove any negative blocks in the universe. Now I'm a Christian, and so I'm just telling you right off the gate, right off the jump, I don't believe this is gonna work. But I'm just asking for us to try. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, Jimmy Collins, come to Butthead. Come to Butthead. Be on the show. Be on the Thrive Time Show. Jimmy Collins, I'm sending out supersonic waves. I'm sending out high-frequency noise systems. And now, Jason, if you can kind of give me some echo action, I'm going to start to send out vibrations. And I don't believe this works, but I'm going to try to send it out there. And I want Jimmy Collins just to throw it back. I'm going to throw like a boomerang of optimism, of hope, of gratitude. I'm right now. I'm just saying. Let's say that you've watched the movie The Secret 47 times, and you now believe the law of attraction is how you get Jimmy Collins on a show like this. I'm gonna do it. So here we go. Jimmy Collins, you want to be on the Thrive Time Show. You need to be on the Thrive Time Show. Jimmy Collins. Can I get a Jimmy Collins? Calling Jimmy Collins. Jimmy Collins. Bueller. Jimmy Collins. Jimmy Collins. I need you on the Thrive Time Show. Thrive Nation, say it after me. Jimmy Collins. I need you. We need you on the Thrive Time Show. Into the dojo of Mojo. Faux show. Come to us from Boulder, Colorado. It's not working. Frick. Okay, so now let me read a little bit about Jimmy Collins, and then I would like for you to... Jason, you have the letter in front of you.
I do. It sounds like this.
And we have proof. Jimmy Collins sent me an autographed copy of the book with that letter.
Yeah, he did.
He did, which kind of feels like a non-rejection. It feels like he's unrejecting me. I don't hold it. I don't take it personally that Wolfgang Puck has rejected me.
Because he ended up on the show.
Well, him saying yes almost makes me think less of him.
That's true.
You know what I mean? I'm a no talent joke. I'm a no talent joker who just happens to be good at business. And so when I get shut down by Wolfgang, when Wolfgang Puck tells me no, it lets me know this guy's classy.
Yeah.
When John Maxwell told me no. We've had him on the show now. We've had John Maxwell on the show. We've had Wolfgang Puck. But when John Maxwell said no go, I'm not going to be on the show. I'm thinking, wow, that guy's classy.
Yeah.
When the founder of Ritz-Carlton says no, Horst Schultz, he's been on the show though, I say, oh man, you're classy. Now when they say yes, I'm like, oh, I thought you were better than that. All right, so now let me read you kind of a bio of Jim Collins that I wrote here. It says, Jim Collins earned a Bachelor of Science in Mathematical Sciences at the University of Stanford. And then he earned his MBA from the Stanford Graduate School of Business. Ooh. He went on to work as a business consultant for nearly 20 years, Jason, 18 years, at the legendary consulting firm McKinsey & Company. Jim then went on to work at Hewlett-Packard, HP, Hewlett-Packard, as a product manager. Oh.
So you guys have that in common.
Unbelievable. Now, Collins, I got hired by Hewlett-Packard to do some consulting, true. But he was there for a long time, a full-time. I was there as a consultant brought on from the outside. He was like a full-time employee, And so he trumped me again. Now Collins, as I call him, Jimmy C. We have this great relationship now. Jimmy Collins or JC or the Mountain Man. Jimmy Collins, the Mountain Man, then decided to begin a teaching, writing, and research career on staff at Stanford University, again, Graduate School of Business. He then earned the Distinguished Teaching Award in 1992, and in 1995. Woo! Shunda. That'd be when I was 15, 1995. James decided to start what he calls a management laboratory based in Boulder, Colorado. Throughout Jim's career, he has released legendary best-selling books such as, in 1994, when I was 14, homies, he wrote Built to Last, Successful Habits of Visionary Companies. In 2001, he unleashed Good to Great, Why Some Companies Make the Leap and Others Don't. He's had Beyond Entrepreneurship, how to Good to Great and the Social Sectors, How the Mighty Fall and Why Some Companies Never Give In, Great by Choice, and Turning the Flywheel, a monograph to accompany Good to Great. Now, a monograph is a detailed written study of a single specialized subject or an aspect of it. That's what a monograph is. A monograph is a detailed written study of a single specialized subject or an aspect of it. So when we have in your hands, what is the red thing you have in your hands? Can you read the title of that great book?
Yes. So this is Turning the Flywheel, a monograph to accompany Good to Great.
And whose signature's on that book?
That would be Jimmy C's.
Jimmy C. James Collins. Okay, so go ahead, my friend, read the letter he sent us. Read the letter he sent to the Thrive Time show. You ready?
I am so ready.
Here we go.
It says, Dear Clay, greetings from Boulder.
Oh,
I wanted to personally share with you a signed copy of my most recent publication, Turning the Flywheel, a monograph to accompany Good to Great.
can you read it again? I'm very. It's unbelievable. It's incredible. I just want you to hear it. Read it one more time to me, please.
Yeah.
It feels so good.
Dear Clay,
And that part. I want to start again one more time. I just need to hear it, and I just want to let me just go for it one more time.
Dear Clay, greetings from Boulder. I wanted to personally share with you a signed copy of my most recent publication, Turning the Flywheel, a monograph to accompany Good to Great.
Keep reading.
In the years since writing Good to Great, I've seen just how powerful the flywheel principle is to building great organizations, large and small. The flywheel principle, when properly conceived and deployed, is particularly relevant today, as leaders seek a coherent way to build momentum amidst a backdrop of chaos
Okay,
and uncertainty.
I'm good now. I got it emotionally together. Keep reading. I'm good now. I'm good. I'm back.
At one end of the spectrum, there are fast-growing companies like Amazon, which has consciously harnessed the flywheel effect to feed its momentum machine. At the other end of the spectrum, there is the delightful discovery of a rural Kansas public elementary school using the flywheel to elevate the learning of children. We've observed leaders making use of the flywheel in nearly every sector, from startups and nonprofits to healthcare and professional sports teams. The more I challenged leaders to crystallize their specific flywheel, capturing the drivers of momentum and how they link together, the more passionate I become about sharing what I've learned. I hope you enjoy it, and most importantly, find it useful. How does your flywheel turn? Signed, Jim Collins.
How does your flywheel turn?
Yeah.
I'm going to start using that line on my wife. So how's your flywheel turning, But that's what he asks, right? So now he sends us the book, and I thought what we would do today is share a little bit of the book, a little bit of the monograph. I would never call a book a monograph, but that's why Jimmy Collins is in a different level.
That's true.
Have you ever heard the word monograph before right now?
No, when I was reading it this morning, you handed it to me. I'm like, what is a monograph? I pictured something with like embroidery.
To me, a monograph sounds like something from like the 1880s that was used to communicate with other people.
Like old school.
It was like if you're going, the telegraph, I don't want to use that. I think I'll use a monograph, right? All right.
It's more simple.
Okay, so go ahead and read it. What do you got there?
All right, so Turning the Flywheel starts with a quote from Pierre Luigi Nervi.
I'm giving you some good reading music to kind of provide that background that the Thrive Nation deserves when hearing a book of this quality and class.
Yes, so Pierre says, beauty does not come from decorative effects, but from structural coherence. And so we begin.
Okay.
In the autumn of 2001, just as Good to Great first hit the market, Amazon.com invited me to engage in a spirited dialogue with founder Jeff Bezos and a few members of his executive team. This was right in the middle of the dot-com bust, when some wondered how or if Amazon could recover and prevail as a great company. I taught them about, in quotation marks, the flywheel effect that we'd uncovered in our research.
He taught Amazon about the flywheel effect? So Jimmy Collins taught Amazon about the flywheel effect.
He did.
Okay, continue.
In creating a good to great transformation, there's no single defining action, no grand program, no single killer innovation, no solitary lucky break, no miracle moment. Rather, it feels like turning a giant, heavy flywheel. Pushing with great effort, you get the flywheel to inch forward.
Do you know what a flywheel is?
I actually had to Google it this morning.
What the heck is a flywheel? Someone out there is listening going, what the heck is a flywheel? Is this a wheel comprised or made of flies?
You know, one would think it's a metal thing. It looks almost like a gear, and you set it. It's got a particular mass and direction of movement, and you move it in order to store potential energy.
You move it to store potential energy.
Yeah. So the more you move it and the faster you move it, the more energy it stores.
Oh, really? Okay. Now let me cue this up real quick.
Hey everyone. In this video, I'll be explaining flywheels. Now, flywheels are energy storage units, and they're used to keep an engine running smooth and to keep it running when you're not giving it gas or it's in neutral. Now, a good analogy is a potter's wheel. So if you think about a potter's wheel, they have a little foot press that they keep pressing.
Now, again, I can relate to a potter's wheel. Someone out there's going, what's that?
Yeah, we've all seen Ghost.
Basically, if there's two guys going to a bar, one guy... Okay, we'll go continue.
And it spins a large stone on the bottom. And as that stone's rotating, it's connected to a table in which they hold the clay and they can shape and mold it.
And I said my name, big shout out.
And that clay is spinning at a
Oh, I said it again.
constant speed, and that's because of the flywheel down at the bottom.
Ooh.
It has its inertia, and so it stays at a
Jimmy Collins is talking about inertia, flywheel, stored energy. We'll keep going.
constant speed, even though the force that you apply is at intervals. So the same idea can be applied to cars. So cars have flywheels attached at the end of the engine, or attached to the crankshaft, and it's the item that will be pressed against with the transmission. So you'll either have a clutch or a torque converter, and the torque converter would be mounted attached to the flywheel, and the clutch plate would press against it when you were trying to accelerate, or when you were engaging the clutch, rather. So the basic idea is if you didn't have that flywheel on there, you'd have a really uneven power distribution.
Oh.
So I went through here, and we've got the 4 strokes divided up: intake, compression, power, and exhaust. So you've got intake occurring in the first.
Okay, so the point is it's a wheel that stores potential power.
Correct.
Okay, keep reading. I just want to make sure that we didn't lose anybody there at that point. I'll give you your music back. Here we go.
You keep pushing, and with persistent effort, you get the flywheel to complete one entire turn. You don't stop. You keep pushing. The flywheel moves a bit faster. 2 turns. Then 4. Then 8. The flywheel builds momentum. 16. 32. Moving faster. 1,000. 10,000. 100,000.
Oh, come on.
Then at some point, breakthrough.
Yes.
The flywheel flies forward with almost unstoppable momentum.
I feel like if you... I feel like here's what I'm thinking. Here's what you need to do. I think you need to go back about 3 sentences here, and you need to time. You got to like channel your inner, James Earl Jones here or something. You got to get to a place, because this right here, this could be exciting. This could be okay. So it's public reading it's public typing. It's probably the most horrifying experience in the world when you have to type in front of people at our conferences. So a lot of times we'll have people who come to our conferences, workshops, hundreds of people. I have a member of my team who has to type or pull up displays and images and things like that to showcase and to show examples of what we're doing. That's a pretty horrifying thing. But public reading on a podcast, that is the next level thing, because you are listening right now to a man who's reading, knowing that the words he is saying are being judged by 500,000 people.
It's very true. I'm sweating.
It's like speaking. Imagine you're asked to do a public speaking event, right? And there's like 20 people. You're like, oh, Toastmasters, I remember that. Now imagine the Toastmasters gets out of control, and now it's like 200 people. And that'd be really terrifying. Then imagine being asked to speak at your favorite college football team, like OU or Michigan or Florida, whatever. You're now speaking in front of the Florida State crowd. That's a bad chant. You shouldn't do that. Imagine that kind of audience energy. Imagine that many people all in a stadium. Florida State. Remember, Florida State, FSU, Florida State. Imagine their war chant. The crowd. It's filled. There's the stadium. There's tons of people there. Imagine that kind of energy. That kind of energy. Here we go. And that stadium, let me look it up real quick. I believe, let me see, Florida State seating capacity. Let me see, Florida. Oh, yeah. Oh, come on now. Crank that up a little bit. Oh, I want to wake up to that. Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go. Oh, talk to me about it. Oh, yeah. Let me find it. Okay, almost found it. Okay. Oh, that drum line is sick. Yes. We'll just say this. That stadium seats a lot of people. I can say this. I mean, it is we're talking about at least 60,000 people are there at that stadium. And I'm saying it's like 10 of those, 9 of those, maybe 8 of those. We have 8 football stadiums filled of people, 8 stadiums filled of people. And then I say, hey, Jason, could you read real quick a book you've never read before in front of a group of people? So with that sort of energy, You know, harness your energy, your inner gangster.
Inner
Okay,
gangster.
here we go. I'm going to cue it up for you now.
Ready?
I'm ready.
All right. In creating a good to great transformation, there's no single defining action, no grand program, no single killer innovation, no solitary lucky break, no miracle moments. Rather, it feels like turning a giant, heavy flywheel. Pushing with great effort, you get the flywheel to inch forward. You keep pushing, and with persistent effort, you get the flywheel to complete one entire turn. You don't stop. You keep pushing.
You keep pushing.
The flywheel moves a bit faster.
A bit faster.
2 turns.
2 turns.
Then 4.
4.
Then 8.
Oh.
The flywheel builds momentum.
Woo.
16.
Woo.
32.
Yes.
Moving faster.
Shunda.
1,000.
Oh.
10,000.
Oh.
100,000.
It's too good.
Then at some point, breakthrough.
Whoa.
The flywheel flies forward with almost unstoppable momentum.
That's what was the perfect timing. Perfect time. Yes, he nailed. That was awesome. That's the kind of stuff that we need here in the Thrive Time Show, Dojo of Mojo. Somebody out there needed to hear that. Now let me break it down. And if you want to get the rest of that book, if you want to learn more about that book, you got to buy the book, Turning the Flywheel, a monograph to accompany good to great. And Jason, that's all I want to read today because I feel like we've touched on the idea.
Yeah.
We've given the Thrivers enough of a sneak peek into the book that they need to go buy that book.
Yeah. And it only gets better from there. That was the first paragraph.
I mean, that's hot, though. Now,
Yeah.
let me explain to you what we're talking about. He's saying it's not a single event. It's not a single breakthrough. It's getting the momentum, finding what works, and doing it over and over and over. To quote Dr. Timothy Johnson, one of our clients, the ophthalmologist from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, it's doing stupid, repetitive tasks. Doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. Finding what works and then doing it over and over again. Doing the same thing over and over again. It is so important that you learn what are the stupid repetitive tasks that you have to do over and over to create that momentum. Now, I'm going to talk about, if you're a roofer out there, the 7 things that you need to do, the 7 repeatable tasks that will create that flywheel energy, the 7 repeatable tasks that will create the energy that you need, the momentum that you need. But before I share those 7 repeatable tasks that you need to apply, if you're a roofer, if you're a doctor, if you're a dentist, if you're a lawyer, if you sell retail products, if you are a restaurant, before I share those 7 repeatable tasks that will create the flywheel momentum that you've been seeking and the income that you've been needing to achieve your goals, I would like to ask you, Jason, as a coach, why do you speculate that it is so hard for many people to do the repeatable tasks? Why?
Well, I like the way that Tim phrases it, stupid repeatable tasks. The second that people find something or find that they're repeating something, they're like, oh, this is dumb. I've already done this before. I didn't see results, so I'm just going to try something else. Or people get in the mindset where they just want to do something new because new ideas are exciting. They haven't done it yet.
Right. So let me tee up action item number 1. 1, you have to do every single week. You've got to do advertising. You can't stop. Jason, why can you never turn off your advertising?
Well, if you're using Google ads, if you turn them off, then the second you decide you want to do it again, you have to go through a waiting period and you lose your relevancy. Google loves consistency. They love stupid, repeatable tasks.
Next, you have to gather objective Google reviews from your real, ideal, and likely buyers. Why do you have to never stop gathering Google reviews or Amazon reviews? Or why can you never stop gathering reviews?
Well, it's again with the consistency. If you're somebody who is constantly adding to the platform that you are advertising yourself on, that platform is going to love you. You seem like you're active, but at the same time, you are growing your value towards people. Because if you say 50 is good enough, like, okay, we're at 50. When your competitor is low, that's fine. Well, then when your competitor or somebody new comes around and they have even something as high as 51, 55, and then they start getting into the hundreds, people start to lose track of who you are.
So you have to advertise every day.
True.
You have to gather a review every day. That's 2.
Yeah.
Third, you have to write content on your website every day. Write 1 page of content per day. 1,000-word article per day minimum. Jason, why does every business owner out there, whether it's the owner or someone who works for the owner or you hire a marketing firm, why does every business owner need to write 1,000 words of content on their website? Original content, original HTML, hypertext markup language. Why does everybody out there need to write 1,000 words of original content per day?
The more content you have, the easier you are to find and the higher you'll rank. So if you're doing that every day, it's a no-brainer. You're going to get to the top faster or stay at the top because most people, again, aren't going to do that.
Jason, why do you have to do the group interview every week? And what is the group interview?
The group interview is a process by which you put out a job posting and you allow multiple people to accept it. They come through and you interview all of your candidates at one time in an hour or 2 hours of power, however long you decide it needs to go on for. But what it does in the long run is it eliminates all of those single 1 hour meetings throughout your entire week. You get it all done in one day.
So again, why can't we just interview when we need people? Why do we have to interview even if we're fully staffed? Even if we have nowhere to put a good candidate, why do we have to interview every week?
Because you have to have those people in the pipeline. Because even let's say you're fully staffed with good people, those good people could have something happen in life, or they could get hit by a bus, or they could get hit by a meteor, or they could just not show up one day.
People, you can't have your business built on a house of cards. Now, the next move, you have to analyze your accounting numbers every week. Yep. Why?
You have to know where you are. You can't, and this is one of the things I'm really passionate about now, is you can't focus on I think we had a busy week, or I feel like we're profitable. You have to know those numbers because, you are the business owner, and if you don't know where you are profit-wise, that's not good.
Now, the next repeatable task you have to do, 7 repeatable tasks that will create that flywheel momentum in your business. You have to track where every lead comes from.
Yep.
Jason, why do you have to track where every single lead, every single new customer, every single new buyer, why do you have to track where every single person comes from every single day?
It goes back into the advertising. If you're tracking where people are coming from, you can say, okay, well, if nobody's finding us on Google, then we clearly need to get our reviews up. If everybody's finding us on Facebook, maybe we should kind of push for some more Facebook advertising.
Now, the next, the 7th repeatable task that you must do every week, if you want to create that momentum in your business, that flywheel momentum, you've got to listen to recorded calls and watch video of your staff.
True.
Why?
It's like game footage for any professional football team or fighters. You have to find where your weaknesses are and reassess. Like it's define, act, measure, refine.
Define, act, measure, refine. Define, act, measure, refine. Now, Jim Collins, a notable quotable from Jim Collins, he once said, the purpose of bureaucracy is to compensate for incompetence and lack of discipline. So basically when a bunch of people are like, well, can we work on it together? Can we form a committee? Can we work together on it? How many times do you see that where you're coaching with a business owner and they'll go, well, we'll work on it as a team.
Yeah, we'll get the team on it.
The team, then as a team, we'll write the content.
Yep.
How does that go?
Well, the content doesn't get written, or you come back and they've had a horrible argument because their opinions don't line up, but they wanted to work as a group.
Right. See, that's. I'm just trying to tell you, Jim Collins has knowledge bombs. This is that notable quotable is from Good to Great. He writes, the purpose of bureaucracy is to compensate for incompetence and lack of discipline. Now, Jim Collins, final notable quotable from Jim Collins on today's show. And by the way, Jim Collins, I cannot wait to interview you because I know when you hear this show or you hear rumors of this show or you Google search and you find your name optimized for this show, Jimmy C, you're gonna go, Something's calling me. It appears to be coming from Tulsa. It's the Thrive Time show. I need to be on that thing. Whoa! That's what's going to happen to you. It's going to be awesome. And then after you do that, you're going to go, you know what? I got to check out this Sam Smith song where he's dancing because I've heard he's one of the week. I hear Sam Smith is dancing for the first time in a video.
He's pretty good at it, too.
How do you sleep? Let me just give you a little sneak peek here, Jimmy Collins, what you're going to find when you do a YouTube search for Sam Smith. How do you sleep? There he is. He's just doing some sort of... I don't know if I can handle this. I don't know if I can. I think maybe it's. I don't know. I got to really think through it here. I don't know if I can handle Sam Smith dancing. I don't know. I'll get back to you about that, Jimmy C. I know I'm your song critic that you trust, but here's my final notable quotable from you, Jimmy C. We're on the. Can I call you James? Okay. So good is the enemy of great, and that is one of the key reasons why we have so little that becomes great. We don't have great schools, principally because we have good schools. We don't have great government, principally because we have good government. Few people attain great in their lives, in part because it's just so easy to settle for a good life. And I think that's why Jimmy Collins rejects me a lot. I think he's going, I have a great life. He's a great guy. He's up there in Boulder, Colorado, writing these great books at his laboratory, his management laboratory. Things are good for him. And he's like, if I were to come down and let the butthead, a.k.a. Clay Clark, interview me, my life would just be good. And I can't accept a good. Until Clay Clark takes his show to a great level, it might ruin his brand a little bit to be on here. But I ask you, Jimmy Collins, I ask you this. Please, Jimmy Collins. No, but seriously, Jim, I'm not going to beg, but come on, get on the show. Thrive Nation, email Jim Collins right now. Find his website, email him, and hit him up and say, get on the Thrive Time show. Come on, do it. Come on. But then seriously, go out there and purchase the book, Turning the Flywheel, a monograph to accompany good to great. And Jim Collins, thank you for the autographed copy of your book. And now, with any further ado, we'd like to end each and every show with a boom. Jason, are you ready in the show with a boom?
I'm pumped. I'm ready.
I'm ready, but I can't do it because you know what I'm going to do?
You going to watch Sam Smith dance?
No, I'm going to invite, in just a moment, we're going to call on the phone. We're going to call Tim Johnson.
Ooh.
And we're going to interview him about why Jim Collins. We're going to interview an ophthalmologist.
Yeah.
A top ophthalmologist. We're going to interview him on the show about why Jim Collins needs to be on our show.
Let's do it.
Jim Collins, get ready for this. Oh, I think we're going to get him. Let's say, usually it takes 2 rings to get Tim Johnson before 6 a.m. Is this Tim Johnson?
Yes, it is. Hello, how are you?
Tim Johnson, tell the listeners, where do you live, my friend?
I live in Birmingham, Alabama.
What is your relationship to the one Jim Collins? Because I've invited Jim Collins on the show multiple times. He's rejected me for various reasons called he has class and standards. But he sent me an autographed copy of his book. I sent you the letter last night. You've seen it, Tim Johnson. You've seen the letter and the autographed book. What is your relationship like with Jim Collins?
My relationship currently is non-existent.
Okay.
I quietly stalk him. I read his book. I did learn that his wife is an award-winning triathlete.
Really?
She won the 1985 Hawaii Ironman triathlon, which is pretty amazing.
I did not know that. This just in from our home office. Wow. Okay, so you've read his books.
I have.
What was your favorite book that you've read about a Jim Collins book? I know it's been probably a while, but is there a certain book that resonated with you the most, or a book that you enjoyed the most?
I like How the Mighty Fall. I thought Good to Great, Built to Last were all good ones, but I liked How the Mighty Fall. But once you get there, how do you? What happens when you stay there?
So, could you? I mean, would you agree with me? Would you come into agreement with the Thrive Time Nation, the Thrive Time show, that Jim Collins should be on the show? Do you have any high pressure sales request or high pressure move or a strategy of how we're going to get Jimmy Collins on the show? Jimmy C, JC.
I think threat.
I was going to say abduction.
Yeah. Some type of SWAT team type approach.
Oh, Jimmy Collins, here's the deal. We'd like to have you on the show. Tim, don't you think that it would benefit Jim Collins and benefit the listeners if he was on the show?
Yeah, his the book you sent me, Turning the Flywheel, is really good.
So Jim Collins, here's the deal. If you are out there right now listening in the side, and here's the deal, Jim, I'm going to optimize for your name. So either way, you're going to eventually find this podcast, and I just want you to make it easy on us, okay?
Yeah.
And just go ahead and book yourself on the show, lower your standards, and get on the Thrive Time show. And if Jimmy Collins wants to improve his vision, how does he get a hold of you? Do you have a website there, Dr. Johnson?
Yeah, so we're just launching freedomophthalmology.com. If you want to spell it correctly, that'll get you to the right website. We also have the Clay spelling. If you misspell it, we'll get you there anyway.
That's awesome.
Freedom Ophthalmology. And how long have you been an ophthalmologist?
I've been an ophthalmologist for 5 years.
And
we're doing medicine for about 10.
Where did you go to school? Where'd you go to school?
So I went to Emory University for medical school and the Wills Eye Hospital for residency.
Did you or did you not graduate at the top of your class?
I did in college. That's true. Yeah.
Okay. So you know what you're talking about, and you're an ophthalmologist. And final question I have for you: if you were interviewing Jim Collins right now, what would be a question that you would like to ask Jim Collins? If he was on the show right now, what would that question be?
I'd want to know the one single tip he has for building a great company, and the one single tip he has for keeping a great company.
All right. Well, Jason, we like to end each and every show with a boom.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Johnson, are you prepared to bring a boom from Tuscaloosa?
Yes, I am.
Are you in Birmingham right now or Tuscaloosa?
I go back and forth. I'm about to drive back to Tuscaloosa right now.
So you're currently in Birmingham.
I'm in between. I'm always everywhere.
You know those Birmingham booms aren't the best booms, I'll tell you that.
That's true.
Okay, here we
They
go.
are.
Here we go. Now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom! Dr. Breck, I got to ask you this. You are a chiropractor and a business owner.
I am.
But have you ever found yourself needing an attorney?
I have.
And for what kinds of situations?
Contracts and different, I'm trying to think. Mostly, yeah, I haven't really had any.
What about trademarks or patents or copywriting something?
No, I'd like to say yes, but no.
What about negotiating leases?
Yes.
What about an employee who filed for unemployment, or maybe somebody who had to let go, or somebody who, you ever had like a litigation you've had to deal with?
No, thankfully not.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Jason, you've been involved with the Elephant in the Room Men's Grooming Lounge.
I have.
And now you coach clients.
True.
You used to manage all 3 stores, managing close to 4,000 members.
Oh, yeah.
And dozens of employees, and you now coach clients. You're in our morning coaches meetings.
Right.
How often do our clients have legal questions?
Oh, they have legal questions every single day.
Well, here's what I have found. I've been self-employed since I was since I was 16 years old. So I've been now self-employed for 22 years. Mm-hmm. And there is not a week that goes by that I don't have some sort of legal situation. Usually it's copywriting something, it's protecting something, it's drawing up a contract, it's buying a piece of real estate, it's dealing with a wrongful termination, it's dealing with purchasing a company, selling a company. It's always something that I need a lawyer for.
Right.
And the worst possible time to be looking for an attorney is when you need one.
Right.
When you're trying to flip a house and you have an offer right now that has to close today,
right.
You don't want to be looking for an attorney to look over that agreement. You don't want to be looking for an attorney when you're trying to sign that lease. You don't want to be looking for an attorney when you have to buy somebody out or fire somebody. You don't want to be looking for an attorney when you are looking for the answers.
Right.
So what I would encourage everybody to do today is to be proactive and find an attorney out there that you can trust. Now, we have a great attorney based in Dallas, Texas, who's elected to be a sponsor of this show by the name of Scott Reeb. That's R-E-I-B, Scott Reeb. And his company, Reeb Law, they offer a program called the iLegal Coaching. Let me just share with you what's included in this program that is available for as little as $11 per day.
Yeah.
$11 a day. Unlimited phone access to the legal coaching team. Mm-hmm. So if you have a question, you call, unlimited access. Unlimited text messages back and forth with the legal team.
That's great.
You get contract coaching, contract design, a 60-minute session with an iLegal coach, an annual strategic legal planning session, a VIP ticket to the legal workshop, VIP document vault, a custom design of your corporate structure, monthly VIP check-in call with a legal coaching team, online access to the legal platform. All of this is available for just $11 a day.
That's a lot.
Now, I'd be lying to you if I said that I used this company.
Okay.
I use Wes Carter and the company Winters King. It's wintersking.com. The reason why I use Winters and King is Winters and King represents T.D. Jakes. They've represented Donald Trump Jr. They've represented Joel Osteen, Joyce Meyer, and huge corporations. And I have a lot going on in my life, and I need an attorney that's super well connected into the literary space, and I need somebody who understands media and the complexities of what I do.
Right.
That's why I use Winters and King, and that's why I've used Wes Carter for years. So I would really, unless Wes Carter, something happened where he was no longer there, I would never leave Winters and King. They do a great job with me. But if I was looking for an attorney today, and I didn't know where to go, and I'm on a tight budget, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs are, I would definitely check out the good folks over here at Reeb Law. Check these guys out today, and check out their iLegal coaching package. Objectively, Dr. Breck, do you think that that makes a lot of sense to have a plan like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, you've got the immediate access, and you've got it at a very reasonable price. Because you're going to be paying by the hour for every little subject that comes up all the time. And here you've got somebody on speed dial. I mean, you've got instant access guaranteed in several different platforms: text, call, online. You've got documents. You listed off a number of things there. And all at a very reasonable price.
So check them out today at Reeb Law. It's REIB law.com, REIB law.com. The phone number is 940-591-8255, 940-591-0600. 940-591-0600. Tell them that Clay Clark sent you, and then they'll probably get a little bit frustrated that the lead came from me because they know if they get a lead from me, it's an entrepreneur who's got a lot going on,
There's gonna be a lot
and
of
an
questions.
entrepreneur who's going to use the heck out of this program. I'll tell you, no, but in all sincerity, though, they love working with entrepreneurs. That's their niche, and it's available for as little as $11 a day. If you don't have an attorney you can trust right now, or you don't have an attorney, I don't think it hurts anybody at all to just check out check them out, do the free consultation. Check them out today at Reeb Law. That's REIB, ReebLaw.com.